Awesome. First of all, congratulations on this. It is a great album, very raw, very powerful. Uh, let's start with where did the concept for this new album come from?
The concept. It's not necessarily like a concept album
Hmm.
per se. It's more of I guess it's loosely conceptual in its ideas, but it's just general musings
Hmm.
on loss and depression, essentially. And I guess the hopeful side of it is sort of channeling those into making something positive,
Hmm.
I guess, that sort of thing. The first song on the album, Upon These Unfamiliar Shores, it has to do a lot with love
Hmm.
and I suppose the negative impact that love can have on people.
Hmm. That's interesting. I wanted to ask about the first song and the contrast with the last song because it seems like you go through a whole array of emotions and tones for this album. Uh, why set those two songs so apart from each other?
By first song, you mean Unfamiliar Shores, and then you mean the very last in the album?
Yes.
So like the seventh song?
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So I guess it's really just it's really for the fact that we didn't arrange the songs
Hmm.
from EP to EP, I
Okay.
suppose, because the second EP is just in order of how it
Hmm.
was originally released, and then the first EP is in that order. But I guess to answer your questions, there are a lot of thematic similarities between the
Hmm.
two releases. I think Scott could speak about this too, but it's both musically and thematically speaking. We wanted uh, Fading Promise of Tomorrow to be kind of a continuation of Elegies of Loss and Doom because we felt that with our next material that's coming up, we want to go in a slightly different direction. So we wanted to sort of close off those ideas in a sense.
Scott, you want to add something?
Well, yeah, it's just like he said, basically like these three songs are just kind of written pretty shortly after we did the first EP, and they're kind of in a similar headspace to that. And it just sort of felt right. You can put them together and you get like a full length release, and it
Mhm.
sort of just ties up that sound of the band so that we can move on to something else next time.
Mhm. Awesome. Instrumentally, this is so clean, so powerful, and the vocals seem to match that perfectly. How do these songs begin? Do they begin with lyrics? Do they begin with a melody to them? How does the writing process go for you guys?
They usually begin with it's kind of a mixture of I think I'm speaking for everyone here, but it's kind of a mix of both jamming
Hmm.
everything out and also what we bring to the table. So most of the writing is done by Scott. So usually he'll come up with some riffs and then we'll bring that to our practice space and just jam out on those riffs. And usually a song can come out of that, but not always. Like for example, we had an entire album's worth of material actually that we scrapped just because we didn't feel good about it. But aside from that, lyrically, I usually just I write poetry individually, like on my own time. But so a lot of the time I'll just have lyrics ready for the songs.
Hmm.
But it's a mix of both though. Sometimes I write. There have been songs we've done where I've written lyrics according to the feel of the song too.
Hmm.
Yeah, we did that on Elegies of Loss and Doom, the title track off that
Hmm.
EP. Konrad sat down with the song and you had a concept of like just doing like a stream of concept or stream of consciousness on a singular concept for that song, and it turned out like some of the coolest lyrics I think we've done yet.
Yeah, those were my favorite on that one.
Yeah.
I would that's thanks to Mr. William Burroughs. I was reading a lot of him at the time, so
Mm.
I don't know if I came close to that, but I tried my darndest. I'll tell you what.
I can hear some of that.
Okay.
Yeah, when you for the vocals, there's the very melodic voice to it. It's fantastic, and then you have the power of the metal grunt. How do you choose when to go into that type of sound as opposed to just going straight through with a melodic tone?
Are you speaking from a vocal perspective or from a
Yes,
musical vocals?
yes.
Okay, well, huh. You know what? I've never really thought about that. I kind of just go with usually if on Scott and Chris's side and Steve as well. If something's feeling a bit more aggressive, then I don't try and force clean vocals in. Like
Hmm.
to be honest, I think I prefer doing clean vocals, but um, there's just certain points in songs where it really doesn't fit the music, I
Hmm.
suppose. So it's really more when we're doing, I guess, more laid back stuff, then I'll do clean vocals. But then when if we go into blast beats or even just like a harder sounding slow part,
Hmm.
I'll typically choose to do harsh vocals.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's I guess a lot of parts where we're doing more of a melodic, slower acoustic part that usually demands cleans.
Hmm.
So yeah, it really depends on the mood of the music.
Awesome. When it comes to the instrumentals, who I guess who takes the lead because it seems like you guys are all very well in tune with each other.
Well, it
It's
usually starts out with like me sitting at home, like messing around with riffs or just like at practice. I'll come up with a few ideas and we'll just sort of play it over and over again until something organically comes up. But
Mhm.
there's not like a whole lot of thought process behind it. It's just about, you know, putting ideas out there and trying to channel some sort of emotion that way.
We really spend most of our time when writing organizing Scott's ideas. That's sometimes it comes quick, sometimes it comes after a long while.
Mhm.
Sometimes we just sit on an idea for months and months and then revisit it, and all of a sudden we get it done in like a night
Mhm.
type of thing. So we never really try to force anything in that regard. Um,
Which is why things have been fairly slow moving
Mhm.
with us for a long time because we're perfectionists with everything that we want to do, and it just sort of takes forever till we're at least somewhat happy with it.
yeah, like songs get rewritten right up to like in like during when even the recording process is like we've done changes to song structure and stuff like that. Just like added a part here, taken away a part,
Mhm.
redone a transition, or like stuff that we haven't even tried out at practice and stuff like that. It's yeah,
And
songs are
we even try out songs live before we even decide we want to record them a lot of the time. We'll just
That's
give it a
usually what
test drive.
happens, I
Yeah.
think. Like it's we'll play songs live and they just don't feel right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So we'll scrap them. There's been several songs like that where we just haven't really we just weren't really like vibing with it while we were playing, I guess. And I guess in essence we kind of are a jam band,
Mhm.
I suppose,
in
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 that
a
sense.
weird way. Yeah.
That sounds awesome though. What has the band done in order to build up this collaborative process that you guys have started with, and you know how how much of like-minded people do you have to be in order to have that process work in such a great way because this album works so well together.
Oh, thank you. I mean, I think it's been a lot of trial and error. Like we have not always got along so well with the creative process. So I think it's been a lot of just letting people take the reins where it's appropriate and just having that respect for each other.
Yeah,
And like,
don't get us wrong. We used to and still have the occasional like argument over like how something is going to happen in a song, or like say we want like a different type of drum part here, or like I'm playing something weird on the bass, or the rhythm guitar is doing something weird that we don't like. We have arguments about it, and like we've figured out over time, we've developed kind of like bit more of the dynamic. When obviously when you start a band, you're not too sure how
Mhm.
everyone's like dynamics are going to work within the band and who is going to take charge of what type of thing. Like
I,
for me, I don't write anything in the band. I just help with organization of ideas and say, yes, I like that. No, I don't like that. Maybe try this part here. Oh, I really like that melody type of thing.
I think a big part of it too is the fact that this band was the first like serious band that we all like wanted to write our own original music in. So we all sort of went through that learning process together. And that just sort of helped out, I guess.
Mhm.
Because myself and Conrad, we both have like side projects that are just purely our own writing type of
Mhm.
thing.
Shout out
And
to Armistice and No Longer Human.
yeah, and then Steve was Scorn, and his other projects, RE, um, like we anything that we don't feel is appropriate to go towards the Nepenthe normally gets filled up with our side projects, and that's where we get that creative outlet too. But we have like um an understanding of the like the vibe and kind of tone of songs that we want to do for Nepenthe.
Awesome. Well, congratulations on this album. I enjoyed just sitting back and listening to this. It is such a great listen. So congratulations once again, and thank you very much for your time.
Yeah,
Thank
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 you
you
you.
so
so
much.
much. I hope I don't get the name wrong, but thank you, Jesus.
Yeah.
Is that it or
Yeah, that's perfect.
okay, great.
Cheers.